Gary. This is Jim McGarry.
She went to work today.
McGarry out there somewhere? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We'll bring the session to beginning. I'd just like to inform everybody that the board met in executive session prior to this meeting to discuss an HR matter, a legal matter, and a real estate matter. This is the 9th public session of the Haverford Township Board of Commissioners on this Monday, May 9th, 2016. Please take the roll.
Mr. D'Amelio?
Here.
Mr. McCluskey?
Here.
Mr. Siegel?
Here.
Mr. Lewis?
Here.
Mr. Holmes?
Here.
Mr. McGarry, I know he is here. Mr. Wexler?
Here.
Mr. Leva will not be with us this evening. Mr. Connell?
Here. Will everybody please stand for our opening prayer? Mary Catherine Dubrowski from the Surrey Services.
Thank you for all being here tonight, and I'm part of the Ministerium, the Haverford Township Ministerium. Before I start, if we just take a moment of silence to remember all of those who are not with us tonight. I have a very Polish last name, but I'm going to give you an Irish blessing tonight. May love and laughter light our days and warm our hearts and homes. May good and faithful friends be ours wherever we may roam. May peace and plenty bless our world with joy that long endures. May all life's passing seasons bring the best to us and yours.
Amen. Pledge of Allegiance.
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. First on the agenda, I would like to call the Police Committee to the front.
Good evening. The first proclamation is proclaiming National Police Week and Police Officers Memorial Day. I'm joined by our Police Committee, Mr. McGarry and Mr. Lewis. Mr. Leva cannot be with us this evening, but we're thinking about Mario. Whereas the police officers of Haverford Township have worked devotedly and selflessly on behalf of the people of Haverford Township, regardless of the peril or danger to themselves, and these officers have safeguarded the lives and property of the residents of Haverford Township. And these men and women, by their patriotic service and their dedicated efforts, have earned the gratitude of the residents of Haverford Township. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed, the Commissioners of Haverford Township calls upon its residents to observe the week of February 15th to the 21st, 2016, as Police Week. Be it further proclaimed that the Commissioners of Haverford Township calls upon the community to observe May 15, 2016 as National Police Officers Memorial Day in honor of those law enforcement officers who, through their courageous deeds, have made the ultimate sacrifice in the service to their community, proclaimed this 9th day of May 2016. Township of Haverford Commissioners, Chris Connell, Senior President, Larry Gentili, Township Manager. Congratulations, guys.
Commissioners, ladies and gentlemen, and the Albertus family. Every year, the police department awards a proclamation and an award to the Officer of the Year. This year, the award goes to Officer Will Albertus. We have a staff meeting in April every year, and the sergeants make the nominations, and it's voted on by all the sergeants. Unanimously this year, without any question at all, Will was awarded the proclamation for Officer of the Year. And I will read the nomination from his sergeant. The 2016 Officer of the Year Award. During the April staff meeting of the Haverford Township Police Department, the nomination for the Officer of the Year was discussed. All 8 sergeants from Patrol Division, 2 sergeants from Detective Division, and the sergeant of the Special Operations Unit, unanimously nominated Officer Will Albertus to receive the 2016 Officer of the Year award. Officer Albertus was the epitome of community policing. He always took pride in patrolling his district. He was on a first-name basis with all of the business owners and their employees. Everybody knew Will, and everybody asked if Will was working or whenever other officers would go into the businesses. Will was known for his laid-back approach to problem solving. He always treated the public with respect and professionalism. Will was well respected by his peers, and his easygoing demeanor made officers at ease around him. Officer Albertus was the sanity and compassion on calls involving people going through a crisis. He could always console and calm them down to the point that all was safe for everyone involved. Often, people in crisis would request Will to stay with them for whatever the next process might have been. Officer Albertus had a gift with dealing with people, making them comfortable and at ease in their time of need. When dealing with the public, Will always showed his compassion for the people. Will never seemed to have a bad day, and this was quite evident in his work ethic. He was always happy when working, especially when he talked about his wife Jen and the 3 children, Blair, Teddy, and Jude. They meant the world to him. While at work, Will always completed what was asked of him, and Will never complained, no matter what the conditions were. Since Will's injury and passing, the entire police department has been amazed at the outpouring of condolences from everyone on the street. And just some examples would be Larry Fadden and Stu Ferdman of the Fadden's Jewelers located in the Township Line Shopping Center. They were in tears upon learning of Will's passing, as with Bill's Shoe Service Minot Shopping Center, along with the entire staff of Starbucks. One of Will's sergeant recalled that one evening after Will's passing, while he was driving in his police vehicle along Westchester Pike, he was stopped at a red light. When the driver of the vehicle next to him got out of his vehicle, ran over to the police car and shook his hand and told him he was so sorry to hear about Will, and told the sergeant he was praying for the entire police department. We can only hope to leave a legacy like that. Officer Albertus, being this recipient of this award, will be eternally memorialized within the Haverford Township Police Department and the entire Haverford Township Police community for the distinction of the 2016 Officer of the Year. Rest in peace, Officer Albertus. You are missed and will never be forgotten.
Gentlemen, we'd like to present you with this award for the Officer of the Year for Will. For a career dedicated to fairness, humanity, his co-workers, teammates, and friends salute his pursuit of excellence. For today's date.
Whatever, just proclamation, okay. Police Officer of the Year 2016. Whereas Officer William Albertus has performed diligently and faithfully the duties and services required of him by the Township of Haverford. And whereas the performance of Officer William Albertus was in the highest standard of the law enforcement profession, and whereas a vote has been taken by the Police Department supervisory staff to recognize Officer William Albertus's outstanding contributions. Now, therefore be it proclaimed that Officer William Albertus is hereby commended for his diligent and valuable service presented this 9th day of May, 2016, Township of Haverford Commissioners, Chris Connell, President, Larry Gentili, Township Manager.
Jen, we also have Will's badge, nameplate, and his honor bar and his picture matter for you for.
Here, here.
I just wanted to say thank you to everyone in the Haverford Township Police for me and my kids, for everything you've been doing, even before this happened, that whole week, everything from Teddy's birthday to making sure that our lawn is taken care of, to giving us food every night. Thank you so much for everything. We wouldn't survive without you guys. Thank you.
Can I just say on behalf of the Board of Commissioners, and I know Chris Connell's going to say something also, we want to thank all the police officers that are here tonight. There's a lot of them here in plain clothes that the people won't recognize, but they're here. They're not being paid. They're here because of Mr. Albertus and a great colleague that he was to them and how much they feel for the family. And all I can say on behalf of all the board, God bless all of you and thank you so very much.
This board will take a recess for 5 minutes.